Okay, so I'd like to introduce to you now the first of our pitches from the Philippines cohort, and this is Christopher Pacardo for you.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to present to you our technology, the mechanical processing of fibrous and leafy crops. I'm Christopher Pacardo, the co-inventor. So fibrous and leafy crops are high-value commodities because this can be processed in various products. However, the problem is it is hard and tedious to manually wash, peel, grate, extract, cook, and mill large volume of fibrous and leafy crops. It took 1 day to process 7 kilograms, and this is unclean food processing. In that method, it produces 45 to 50% waste. And the available machines are expensive and not suitable for other crops. Our situation in the Philippines, we have 5,000 agricultural and food processing business engaged in the processing of fibrous and leafy crops. And you know what? They are processing it manually. And we have here the mechanical processing of fibrous and leafy crops. This is called the crop processing machine, and our brand name is Crop X Pro. Our Crop X Pro has 7 machines to address the whole process. It is a zero-waste processing model and increase the processing capacity to 92%. It is a modular model, meaning you can buy in single, in combination, or the whole system. It is polymechanized. Using the Crop X Pro, the time of processing can be reduced from 7 hours to 1.36 hours. And our present business model, we have has a sale of 72 units, but it is not sustainable. So we are proposing for a spin-off to do the machine sale, machine rental, machine leasing, machine technology licensing, franchising. And this is our team. We have 2 agricultural engineers and 1 financial and marketing executive and a designer. So what we need is 400,000 pounds to start the business. And we have registered intellectual property, and we have awards from the Philippines national government. And the Crop X Pro has a competitor from China, but this competitor can only do extraction. For us, we can do washing to milling. And our target market is to reach 500 customers in 5 years. So why invest in us? We are always updating our technology and suiting to the need of the modern age. And then we are testing it for other crops to maximize the utilization of the machine. So thank you very much. If you want to contact me, this is my platform.
Thank you very much. On your competitor slide, you're sort of comparing apples with oranges. Do you have a comparison of the equivalent of the 7 machines to the competition?
Actually, when I searched for the competitors of these machines, I had only found this machine that can do only extracting. But for us, it is from the washing, granulating, extracting, drying, and crystallizing. So that one can only do 1 process, but our machines can do the 7 processes. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. I'm interested, based on your experience so far, what do you see as the key risks and challenges for product growth from your perspective?
Okay. Our challenges is that we have so many islands, so we cannot reach the other consumer or the users of this, because presently our technology was only licensed to 1 manufacturer. So he cannot do so much machine and cannot deliver it to the prospective user. So in our proposed business, we can license it to various manufacturers so that we can reach all the other users. Okay. Yeah.
Given that the cost of your machine is significantly more than the competitors that you found, albeit that they do far less than your machine, it makes me wonder what, in fact, is the demand for such a sophisticated machine. So I wonder if you could tell me what evidence that you have that there is demand.
Okay. Actually, before I apply here in the UK, I have 10 approaches to buy the whole system. And then I have also 10 approaches to buy 2 machines, the extractor and the micro mill. So that is my evidence that there is a demand on these machines.
I guess my question is kind of similar. I mean, you're comparing against well-developed machines which are probably sold on a global market. You're still selling small quantities. Have you applied something like the learning curve to calculate what your final end-up price will be when you sell many?
Yes, sir. We have already prospects on the price of this. It will be lower than 1,000 pounds. So for one machine only. So if for the set, it can be lowered up to 9,000 pounds. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Christopher. Okay, can I call Filmann to come and get his microphone on? Go over to there. Excellent. Okay, and I'd like to welcome to the stage Elmer Dadios. Please give it up. Please welcome Elmer.
Can I start?
You may start when you're ready, Elmer.
Hi. Do you experience receiving phones and telling that your brother is dead because of traffic accident? What would you do if you're 20 meters away from your house and you're still stuck in your car because traffic is not moving? This is happening in Manila with 50 million people and 2.5 million cars traveling every day and operated by reckless drivers and traffic accidents of 300 per day and an average of 2 dead persons per day and business loss of $70 million per day. I am Elmer Dadios asking you to help solve this problem. Support Catch All. This is a system that catches traffic violators. Our solution is we automatically identify traffic violators and issue a ticket so that we can discipline these drivers and ensure safety of the passengers and increase the revenue of local government units, and some of this can be used on training of these drivers. We have captured markets of catch-all of 122 local government units, 8 tollways corporation, and 16 cities of Metro Manila. And we charge, as our business model, $1 per photo, and provided they have the hardware, and $5 per photo guaranteed for 5 years, and we will install the hardware. So we are now a startup company. Our government give us funds. We will deliver to our clients in 2020, and we want to expand our market in 2021. And hopefully, by 2022, we can change the behavior of our drivers. We need partners for expanding our market. We need advisors and to help us do our business, and camera suppliers to support our operations for Southern Philippines. I am Dr. Elmer P. Dadios, a professor and fellow of the De La Salle University. With you and my team, we can save lives of the Filipino people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elmer. I'd like to understand a bit more about the revenue model. So,
Yes, every time, because in the Philippines, we have to charge violators of traffic, okay? So we can use our video system, analyze the plates of that car, because our policy is if your car ending on this number, you're not allowed to travel on that day. So you will be charged for that violation. 1, for example, you are not allowed to travel on Monday. 5, you are not allowed to travel on Wednesday. So every images that we can process, we store that on our database, and this can be charges for appropriate fines.
can I just small follow-up? So the charge fine goes to your client.
The
And
local
then your
government.
client pays you, and your client is the local government?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. I'm interested to hear more about the competition aspect. So there are some market players in the AI sphere, especially looking at the road traffic analysis. So how will you deal with the competition, especially in respects to software-based solutions, which are available both here and...
Yeah, exactly. We already benchmarked this one with our competitors abroad. They are very expensive. In fact, they went to us to help them also, because in the Philippines, we have different type of plate numbers. And it is very difficult for them to identify. From 2010 up to 2019, we have different type of plate numbers. So their algorithm is not enough to process that one.
From what you've presented, it seems like to me like an innovation that's ready to go.
Yes, exactly, because we have already a client. And
So what is the main obstacle that's stopping you right now from rolling this out?
actually, we are rolling it out. We have to deliver it on 2020. We have already a client. We have funds from the government. Up to our break-even point, we have these funds from the government.
My question is to kind of follow on to that, because yes, it does look like it's stuff which has been done, but I think the hang up here would be that you have to do more than read the number plate. You have to prove who was driving.
Exactly.
Can you do that?
Yes, because we clip the video of that car. It's not only the plate number. What we save is the profile of the car. And we prove that he was there on that time, on that day. There is that is captured in our database.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Okay, thank you, Elmer. Okay, and our final presenter for this, the second session of today's pitches, is Filmann Simpao.
Imagine a mango farmer who is producing our national fruit for export. And there are 2.5 million like him in the Philippines. He is losing half of his yield because he is not using the modern harvesting technique, and his post-harvest management is very poor. That's why he is losing his opportunity to export and the opportunity to earn more as well. How I wish he could have done something about his situation. Let me walk you through with our solution. At pre-harvest, we have a spray nozzle that reduces the pest count, at the same time reduce the volume of chemical spray at a very significant level. During harvest, we maintain the quality of export of the mango because the damages is reduced because caused by poor picking. At post-harvest, we have a process that increases the shelf life of the mango. So essentially, Mangifitech offers enhancement on mango production. So the innovation comes with additional cost, but the investment looks positive as additional income outweighs the incurred cost. A potential market, by getting 5% of 2.5 million total addressable market, we have a fair market size of roughly 13,000 farmers. Mangifitech has high product leadership because it is innovative. It is a solution to a specific problem of the farmers, and it is easy to use. We plan to earn via licensing, and our way to do that is to partner with distributors and manufacturers. This is our team. Our team is composed of 2 lead inventors who are experts in agricultural engineering for farm mechanization. And my role here as a tech transfer officer I handle the commercialization of this product. These are the milestones of Mangifitech. It started off as a research and development in 2014, and we have applied for patent for this. And just recently, we have pilot tested this one, and we're looking for the commercialization of this product. That is why we're looking for manufacturers and distributors as our business partners in the future. My name is Filmann, and this is Mangifitech, your sustainable solution for mango production. Good morning.
Mike, you mentioned that it's more expensive in the first place to buy, but then you would make more profit on your mangoes. What would be the return on investment? So how quickly would a farmer, if they are the buyer, be making back that extra profit?
Yeah, actually we have 3 products for Mangifitech. We have spray nozzle, we have picking machine, and automated hot water treatment.
So if they got all of them?
So if we got all of them, I forgot the ROI, but ultimately, let's talk about the first product. So the spray nozzle is actually for a typical spraying. So a farmer would use 30 liters for 1 tree. But with our spray nozzle, we were able to reduce that into half. We were able to use only 15 liters. So, but along with that, we have as well reduced the number of pest counts. And the risk associated to that in spraying was reduced as well. Because we found out during the R&D that the deposition of the spray on the body of the sprayer has a great reduction, actually, and that really matters to us, the risk, the safety of the farmers. So that's one.
Thanks. As I understand, you're in early stages right now and looking to scale up. I wonder what early traction have you received from any potential customers and from farmers, and have you received feedback as well in terms of how they would use your products?
Yeah, actually, the pilot testing was completed just last year, and we get all their feedbacks, and right now we're actually selling to the local government units because they really wanted to have our technologies. And for the whole Philippines, our problem right now is the distributorship, because we are a university, and distributorship and manufacturing is not our expertise. So that's why we need them to expand our network, our distribution network, to all areas in the Philippines. Hi, hello.
I think my question builds on the previous one, actually, but it's not about the engagement with the distributors. I'm interested in the engagement with the manufacturers. To what extent have you engaged with them in the development of these set of products?
Yes. In fact, we have one manufacturer actually 2 manufacturers, because we have 3 products. For the 2 products, we have a manufacturer is directly engaged with the R&D. Just that we do not have we don't have the agreement yet for licensing, but we plan to have this year. And for the third product, we have another manufacturer because this is a very big facility. That's why, of course, they are also engaged in the pilot testing. So any feedback we get from the farmers, we always have the modification directly with our technologies.
I like this very much from just the whole style of what you've done and the target that you've got for it. I have a very personal question for mango. The only ripe mango I've ever tasted has been in the East. The mangoes I buy here don't taste like mangoes. Can you export a good mango with your technology?
That is really our promise, to increase the yield of our farmers. The variety of mango we have is the Carabao mango, which is the sweetest and the finest on this planet. And really, yes. And of course, if you have the chance to eat our mango, you would be amazed of its taste.
I wasn't blaming the grower. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the final session in today's Leaders in Innovation Fellowships Pitching Day. You're about to see 12 presentations from Filipino inventors and innovators. And the first one I'd like to welcome to the stage to give a 3-minute pitch, followed by questions from our judging panel, is Mr. Franz Joseph Damasco Libao. Please join us at the stage and welcome Franz.
Hello, everyone. This is what I experience every time I commute going to work. Most of the time, I find it hard to find a ride. And I got stuck in the road for hours. My asthma got triggered because I was exposed to the smoke coming from all the vehicles. My name is Franz Joseph Libao from the Science Department of the Philippines, and I'm here to present to you our innovation that can help solve this problem. This is the hybrid electric road train. It is a patented trackless train that is composed of interconnected coaches designed to carry a large volume of passengers. Since it runs on the road, it needed minimum infrastructure and can be deployed immediately. It is a hybrid-powered vehicle, so it emits less carbon compared to other normal vehicles. Designed and developed by Filipino engineers, it can potentially build our capability and expertise in manufacturing our own transportation systems. In Mega Manila alone, there are 7 million passengers that needs this transportation system. Currently, there are 13,000 buses that serves this need. Imagine if these 13,000 buses was removed in the roads and was replaced by only 800 road train units. A lot less vehicles on the road, thereby reducing the traffic congestion. Of course, less vehicles on the road means less air pollution. The road train has been promoted in different media outlets in the Philippines, and it's been demonstrated in different cities. One of our prototypes was transferred to a city, and they are interested in building 2 additional units of road train. So as a government agency, we are mandated to create technology that will help solve Filipino problems. So we will go into license the technology to manufacturers, and we will provide technical support to the adopters. Currently, we are seeking third-party accreditation and pushing for new regulatory framework so that the road train can be widely used in our country. Hopefully, from our prototype, it can be developed into a fully commercial model. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I've heard of situations where, let's say, road trains type technologies have gone from one location to another, and then they've run into problems with, let's say, the road infrastructure, because the road train type technology isn't quite suited to the roads. How does the road infrastructure of the Philippines map to the technology that you're seeing?
It's quite long. The train is long, so we needed to choose specific roads. It can run in a road with 2 lanes. Yeah, so we need to choose the location for it to be deployed. Yeah.
Thanks, very interesting. We heard some aspects of the electric technology as well today, so it's a growing field of interest. I wonder, from your perspective, what is the total addressable market that you have projected for your electric trains, and is it just country-specific solution that you're looking at, or you're looking as well to expand?
Right now, our focus is to deploy it in a developing city. So if we prove it that it works, and we are looking for other developing cities in other countries as well. So right now, we're just looking for adapters for it to be tried.
What do you think is the competitive form of transport to what you are proposing? What else would government be considering alongside what you're doing?
In our country, the number one option is trains, the railway trains, but it's a lot expensive. So they are also looking into bus rapid transits. So a bus with dedicated lanes. So that's the other option. But our solution is more efficient than buses. So that's our competitive advantage.
I'm going to say, does yours work without dedicated lanes?
Ideally, but our roads in the Philippines are too congested, so we cannot have the dedicated lane.
Now, with respect, I think you need a dedicated lane, though, for that to work. And then you come to the problems. In Belfast, just literally in the last 6 months, we've introduced a guided bus.
Yeah.
Okay, and the resistance has been enormous, even though it's been successful. The car drivers hate it. So my question really is, what are you doing to tell people this is essential, and to make all the other things, including other things, have to change, like the lights have different sequences because of the length of your bus and so on.
Yeah.
Have you been studying other countries' reactions?
Right now, since we cannot have the dedicated lane, we tried it along with other vehicles, and it works fine. And of course, we faced resistance. The jeepney drivers were angry at us. But I guess we're telling them that they can be absorbed if this technology was adopted. And we are looking for routes that currently don't have a mass transportation system. So that's our first strategy.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Franz. Okay, can Jeffrey Dellosa get himself mic'd up, please? Okay, and now I'd like to welcome to the stage from the Philippines, this is Robert Billones. Please welcome Robert.
Do you have the clicker?
Go.
Okay, good afternoon. So first, I would like to ask all of you a question. So how would you feel if you have to wake up very early to prepare for work? Okay, you leave your house, and then you got stuck in queues and traffic. Then you suddenly figure out that you're already late, let's say for about 30 minutes. Okay, So that is not just a story, it is the reality of the riding public in the Metro Manila, Philippines. So we can call it the great equalizer. Whether you're rich or you're poor, you get stuck in traffic. Okay? And this is a huge problem, and it will just get worse. So what we want to address is the huge market for public bus commuting. So our solution is a new bus fleet management system that can connect the passenger demand and bus fleet capacity by counting the number of people inside the bus and in bus stations using vision systems. Okay. So for our business model, we want to partner with LGUs, and we have two revenue streams. We offer data services to the bus operators and bus advertisers. Currently, we have a completed prototype. We need a 200,000 grant in year 1 to do a pilot testing. After we get our first paying client, we need another $200,000 for market penetration. So in the span of 5 years, we intend to increase our market share by 10%. So this is our team. So we have 25 years of experience in transport and urban planning, another 25 years of experience in automation and manufacturing, and 8 years of experience in electronics and communication devices. Now, why should you invest with us? Okay. So first, we are on a mission. We want to alleviate the pains of ordinary people. Second, we really believe that there is a huge market potential for these kinds of product and services. And third, we want your help in building smart and sustainable communities. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I'm quite interested because there's clearly a market need.
Yeah.
I'm quite interested in the competitive situation around your technology. So who are you competing with?
Currently, when we go back here, so there is, the competitors are actually large companies that offer these devices that they can also deploy in bus fleet. So they can install cameras, use GPS to track the fleet movement. However, they are not direct competitors. So what we offer is actually data services. Okay, and most of those people that deploy devices, for example, in public places, does not offer the software services that we are gonna provide. So for example, what we are offering to the bus operators are fuel savings. So if they use this system, we are targeting their fuel savings. So fuel consumption in this market is around $600 million, the total market. So for example, we capture the 10% of the market, okay? So a 60 million fuel consumption, and then let's say we can reduce that at least 10%. So that is $6 million saving for those people, okay? And also, bus advertisers are, we have a $200 million bus advertising economy.
As a follow-up question as well, I'd like to ask what is defensible in terms of the product. So in terms of why can't some of the other companies take do similar solutions, and why can you do it faster and better, but at the same time, what is defensible within the solution?
So currently the prototype, so it's not yet, does not yet have an IP. So we need the 200,000 grant. Okay, to do a new product that is, we will file a patent for that new product, the compressed product, commercial grade product. And as for the software that we are developing, we're gonna file for copyrights for those kind of products. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So your first ask is for the 200K for the pilot testing.
Yes.
But I'm thinking to myself, well, you must have some evidence already
Yeah.
that makes you think this is going to work.
Yes.
So can you tell me what that is?
Okay, so previously we have a completed prototype. So this is funded by the government. And we have a forum, intelligent transportation forum, wherein we invite bus operators or people on the transport field to look at our products, and they are interested. Okay, so actually they would like to lend us, or they offer to lend us one bus to do the testing for that product. But right now we are in need of a fleet wherein we can deploy that for pilot testing.
I guess
Yes.
mine's a sort of follow-on, but it's the same point we made to the last speaker, I guess. Having jammed roads
Yes,
blocks any bus and the ability to feed new buses on
yes,
unless they're made or given a special privilege in the road system.
yes.
Is the government prepared to give an investor in the buses that kind of assurance that the bus that you're investing in will be given a special place on the roads to make the investment pay?
So actually, we have an emerging market in the Philippines, bus systems. So we have P2P, point-to-point buses, and I think the government is really supportive of those kind of new ventures. Yeah, because we have a traffic crisis right now. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, can we ask Jessi to get mic'd up? Excellent. Oh. Okay, and now to present his project, I'd like to welcome, or please join me in welcoming Jeffrey Dellosa to the stand.
Good afternoon. There are over 100,000 commuters every day in our city that find it difficult to get a tricycle ride to go from one place to the other. Consider this elderly. He could be or she could be walking from a particular place 1 mile away from her place to a preferred destination where she can get a tricycle ride. This happened to my very own parents when we are away from home, and to more than 10 million Filipinos across the Philippines. On top of this problem that we have a demand and supply mismatch, there are incidents that happen wherein tricycles overcharge their passengers. So, I am Jeffrey Dellosa. I am part of this startup team in the university that would like to address this problem. So, Transic is a ride-hailing mobile application that will provide the ability for customers or passengers to find and book tricycles conveniently and faster by using this mobile app. This shall also provide availability of known rates ahead of booking. On the other side, this would provide benefits as well for the drivers, because tricycle drivers, has to roam around the city to find passengers. So there's that ongoing mismatch that this mobile application will address. So the drivers can easily, accessibly, conveniently as well find the passengers. At the same time, those passengers can actually find tricycles using this mobile application. So this is the market opportunity for the city, but then there are more than 20 million people in the Philippines that uses tricycles scattered across in many different cities. So the milestones that we have here is that the team is now in the very end of the prototype development, and we want to push the prototyping testing in our very own city. So we want also to expand, and as we gain traction and success in our city, we want to go outside our city to the different cities in the Philippines. We've been getting a lot of exposure early on in the national newspapers as well as for others who are in the different parts of the country. This is our team who are very committed to make this mobile application happen. So we need help. All of us are technologists, and we want to have business people in us that will serve as a board advisor, and we are seeking for government grant around 60K to help us push for marketing, and testing in the marketplace. Thank you for your attention. And help us take this transit, make available to those elderlies, to all types of customers or passengers we have in the country today. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Jeffrey. How does this compare? I mean, are there other similar apps around at the moment? I mean, given the gig economy.
Yes, so I think the very popular mobile app is Uber that we also have here in London, but we don't have it in the Philippines. We have Grab, but more focused on cars. They're not outside Metro Manila. They are focused on the big cities. So what we are doing is addressing a specific transportation, which is tricycles. We're in, a lot of them are in the country, in smaller cities in the country. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for this.
Thanks. I wonder if you could expand a little bit on the research that you have done on customer acquisition costs, looking at some of the examples that we have in gig economy. Usually there are the initial costs for customer acquisition, they are very high. So I wonder whether you've calculated in the 60K grant, that's that cost.
Yeah. So right now, most of our project team are working. They don't have this development cost yet, but we're looking at the phase we're in. We need to find partners for the acquisition of the handsets or mobile phones for our. We're looking at around 10,000 US dollars in total for that particular acquisition cost for that particular budget. Hi.
Hi. Can you tell me a bit more about what the revenue generation model is for the enterprise that you're developing?
Yes, thank you for the question. So our business model would be on charging booking fare at 10 cents a dollar. So that will be on top of the fixed cost or the cost that the passengers will pay for the drivers. So that's a fixed cost that has been validated if in the general public are you acceptable in this particular price range if you will be willing to book a tricycle ride. So that has been discussed with many or over 100 persons that was asked around in the city if they are okay with that. So we did some validation about it. So for that particular price range or price, over 90% would be acceptable to that particular booking charge. Yeah, primarily for booking charge, but we are looking also for advertisements or ads later on. Yep.
I think I'd be very understanding of what you're trying to do, but what I don't understand, what's different about a tricycle and a taxi? Why can't you use one of the existing supply and demand software systems?
Yep. So there are cities, like our city doesn't have a taxi. So we ride particularly using tricycles.
Oh, I understand that.
Yep. Then it's, in a way, in comparison with Uber, that's kind of similar in terms of hiring or hailing taxi. So the thing is, we have this in a way, it's entirely focused on these smaller cities that taxis are not yet present or something.
No, I understand, but I guess I'm not understanding what's different about the technology. If the cyclist, the tricycle rider has a mobile,
yeah,
then the receive app can be there, and the hailing app.
Yes.
Is it different?
No, that's the case. The tricycle drivers need to have their own mobile application in their phones.
Yes, so I'm just not understanding what the difficulty is.
The problems that we're trying to address is that for those persons who are outside the normal route of the tricycles in the city, so those residents who are very far from that location can take or book a ride. Something. All right. Thank you.
Jeffrey. Okay, could I ask Pamela to get herself mic'd up for the next one? And whilst we load up the presentation, I'd like to welcome from the Philippines, Jessi Rubio. Welcome, Jessi. Okay, just give her a chance. Ready to start when you are.
Good afternoon. Today I will be presenting to you Computing and Archiving Research Environment, or CORE. My name is Jessi Rubio, and I am the R&D leader of CORE. And this is my team. We are a government-funded research group that facilitates the operation and the development of a high-performance computing facility, or we call it as HPC. We started back in 2014, and right now we have 36 research groups using our facility. One of the applications using our HPC is through flood hazard mapping, which processes around 400 million records of weather sensor data from thousands of weather stations distributed around the country to make high-resolution images for high-resolution hazard maps. Another example is through data science analysis of satellite images that helps disaster responders to quickly search for possible trapped victims during landslides. So right now, we're exploring for a possible spin-off because we have such huge market potential for around 800 research organizations, which includes universities and colleges, along with highly urbanized cities. Right now, we are offering our basic services for free, and we're looking into having a billing system based on the freemium model with an optional priority upgrade of around £100 per year and an extended support of around £30 to £50 per hour. And while we are looking for more customers to use our facility, we are more inclined to have more partners so that we can offer our HPC facility as an institutional package to have a more solid adoption of HPC in our country. This will enable more meaningful, impactful, and socially relevant innovations in our country to bring us forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm currently using my free basic services. What do I get if I go for the priority upgrade?
In HPC, we have a job scheduling prioritization where scientists run their experiments through jobs. And these jobs have a prioritization scheme. So typically, some jobs get delayed because we are depending on a first-in, first-out algorithm. So one solution will be to increase their priority level so that they can have their jobs done faster. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, very interesting. Can you tell us a bit more about the plans for the next 12 months in terms of business development and the key milestones you plan to achieve?
Okay. By May 2019, we would have upgraded our capacity, and we are currently looking into a billing system right now. So by the next year, we are targeting to have, we're just considering having a spin-off to increase the uptake of HPC users in our country. So probably, hopefully, we could have doubled our capacity, doubled users in our facility.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you explain to me why you actually need to have a spin-off to do this? Why don't you just set up a partnership board and roll out these high priority upgrade services? What's the advantage to you of having a spin-off?
One possibility for a spin-off is that we could centralize the R&D for HPC in our country. At the same time, the income that we could get in case we have a spin-off would be returned to us, because in the government, if we ever have an income, it goes back to another department, the Department of Budget and Management. So having a spin-off would be more, I think, more stable to have continuous HPC adoption. Yeah. Thank you.
My question really is about the geographic extent of your possible partners. Do you need high-quality fiber infrastructure, and if you do, have you got it?
We do need. We actually have another research group from our institute that links research groups with high-speed internet connection. Right now, they're rolling out around 100 gig, so that's an opportunity. If users or other scientists could use our facility, they have the opportunity to run their simulations in a high-speed capacity.
And okay. Yes. One supplementary then. Are you aware of others doing the same thing? For example, Fujitsu, based in Wales, has a supercomputer on...
Yes. There are other... I think there are hundreds of supercomputers around globally. We have a list of top 500 supercomputers. But locally, we are the only ones offering that large capacity in our country.
No, I understand, no, but their model is a distributed supercomputer which is bought by the minute or the hour or whatever. So it's the same model you're going for is already operating in Wales. It's a good thing to have a look at.
Oh, okay.
It's not easy.
Yeah, I'll consider that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jessi. Excellent. Okay, Kenneth, can you get yourself mic'd up, please? Okay. And whilst Kenneth is doing that, please join me in welcoming to the stage Pamela, Tadeo, please.
The Philippines is the second largest exporter of coconut oil in the world, valued at around $1.45 billion in 2017. Producing this much would mean a lot of waste, and that we call the copra meal. In 2017, we have around 880,000 metric tons of copra meal, and only a fraction of that was used in animal feeds because first, it has poor digestibility, and second, it has very low protein content and poor protein quality. We have been importing soybean meal for our animal feeds because we have really insignificant soybean production in our country. However, there is a problem with soybean. First, market price fluctuates. Second, it is expensive. And third, supply is erratic. So in order to address this situation, biotech developed a means to enhance the protein quality of copra meal, and that is the PECM technology. Essentially, the process decreases the fiber, making it more digestible, while increasing its protein content and improves its protein quality. In this manner, PECM can substitute the protein contribution of soybean meal in the diet, reducing cost of feeding and feed production. As of the moment, we have patents applied at IPOFIL for the process and the product. And in 2016, we have also registered our trademark, valid until 2026. Through the years, we have done a series of product validations with different collaborators across different animal species, most notable of which is with UP Visayas on tilapia. Currently, we're doing an average of 1 ton a month of production for small and medium enterprises coming to the lab. And this technology and the product has sparked a lot of interest from different cooperators, distributors, cooperatives, and big corporations and feed millers. And last year, Cargill Philippines, a large feed company, has joined the roster. This is the team, and we are a team of experts in the field of science. What we need now are members for a board of advisors that has experience in dealing with the market sectors that we really want to approach for to commercialize a technology that is cheaper and locally available. We envision PCM to boost the income of Filipino farmers, coconut oil producers, feed millers, and mixers alike. Help us realize this vision. Thank you very much for listening.
So I think I'm right in thinking that the innovation here is the process from which you take the coconut and turn it into the product. What is your, I guess, business model for then exporting that to?
We're trying to do licensing with the feed millers because they have access to, some have access to copra meal. Some will really reduce cost because they're using soybean meal for their feed mixes. So essentially, we're really just trying to do licensing because we do not have the capacity in the lab to produce more. We can produce for small and medium enterprises, but we cannot keep up with the demand. Thank you.
Thanks. So my question is very simple. Who else is doing this in the markets? And is there another competitor similar or?
No, none.
No one, yeah?
We're the ones doing this. We're the only ones doing this.
Gosh, I've got a lot of questions that I could ask you about this, so it's difficult to pick just one. It seems, again, another, it's another innovation that looks to me like it's ready to go via the license route. So, what's been the obstacle when you approach a potential licensee? What's been the problem?
Because we are, in the scientific community, we really do not know how to, protect. I think from dealing with these big corporations, we're a little bit confused with how to protect the technology. And I think some are meaning to, patent a different product for their own. So they're like reaching a different market for this product. So we really wanted to know how they think about using the product, and we do not have that kind of experience knowing the industry part of the game.
What happens to the copra today?
A fraction, maybe around 40%, is being used for feeding animals also, but it is non-digestible, so they soak it in water for like 7 days. So, but it's still the protein is not, improved. And those that is not used for animal feeds is burned. This came from, the users coming from us. So, knowing that that we can do this technology for their copra meal is really interesting for them. It's enticing for them.
Well, that's really what I was getting to. So that, I guess what's missing is the true development of a business model. That's what you really want to have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Pamela. Okay, can Leo get himself mic'd up, Leo? Excellent. Okay, please join me now in welcoming to the stage Kenneth Kim to present his innovation.
So, good morning, everyone. I'm Kenneth Kim. In the Philippines, getting an education is still a luxury for most students, but they will do their best to get one. You know why? Because they have dreams. Some of them might even dream in becoming a scientist or an engineer, or probably becoming like you, ma'am. However, how will they realize their dreams if, to begin with, they don't have a decent learning facility in their school? Most of us here, we're very lucky, but there's a lot of them who are not. and that is what I want to change. I am Kenneth Kim. I'll be presenting to you our solution to this problem. We aim to address this problem by providing DT Box, which is a portable lab-in-a-box kit that provides access to schools who doesn't have decent learning facilities such as a science lab. So Biotech in a Box is a small box that contains chemicals, reagents, and tools, and also modules that incorporates augmented reality to teach students how to conduct experiments. And we aim to reach this total market size by selling these kits directly to school. And this price that you see here have already undergone significant market validation in the Philippines. However, for us to do that, we actually need money. And I need around 100,000 US dollars. This will allow us to do our marketing campaign, and it's fairly simple. Our marketing campaign directly targets the first 3% of the market size. Fortunately, is saturated in the National Capital Region of the Philippines. And this encompasses several cities. And if I somehow get a portion of this of around 50%, that will already significantly catapult our business to go forward. This is where I intend to expend the budget that is around 100,000 USD, spending most of it in the marketing activity. We have done this marketing campaign already before in some of the schools, and in a few months' time, we already gained significant market traction. And we aim to reach for more schools. So we invite you to invest with us because DT Box is not just a science kit. It incorporates valuable social issues such as climate change, HIV awareness, and a lot more. And we believe that we don't just need to inspire young scientists, but because these kids that we shape today, they will soon be the leaders of our tomorrow. So again, we are Biotech in a Box, and we are here to unbox your science. Thank you.
I think from listening to you that you've done some piloting, or it comes across that you might have, and if so, what's been the comments, output, feedback from those schools?
A lot of them, we've already have an initial grant from Department of Science and Technology to do our business, and we use that to do the prototype development, going into the alpha and the beta testing. During the beta testing process, a lot of schools already bought the kits, even though they know that it's not finished. So a lot of them already want the kits to be used in their schools because even middle-class schools, they don't have labs. So, yeah.
Thanks. I wonder if you can expand a little bit on augmented reality aspect that you mentioned. How does that kit actually work in school settings?
Yeah. So most of this, most of the AR tech involves using a mobile phone. So by using an app, we can actually teach and incorporate certain matters that are very abstract, such as how do they even visualize a DNA. So these things are very abstract to most kids, and it's hard for them to appreciate the hands-on experiments without actually visualizing it. So by using this AR technology, we're able to make it fun and interactive, such that they enjoy and they visualize these things.
Sorry, just to clarify, so it's more connectivity between the mobile application and the
hands-on experiment. So there's actually a lot of companies already doing AR tech, but we have demonstrated that a lot of teachers actually want to still do the hands-on experiments. So it's kind of like a balance between a mixed version of an AR and at the same time a hands-on experiment. It's kind of like more effective for the teachers to teach it this way.
In terms of your ask, you're asking for investment.
Yes.
How much investment?
I need an additional of 100,000 USD for us to proceed with, for us to accelerate the business.
And what would you do with the 100,000?
I will be using that mostly for the marketing campaign. So I haven't explained it yet, but the marketing campaign, it's actually a free capacity building workshops on biotech. So a lot of teachers like it because they get to learn something else. It's for free, and more than that, they get to try it themselves. And we have demonstrated it before, and a lot of teachers are very much encouraged after doing that workshop.
I guess my question again is a follow-on. So who will pay the investor back for investing in more boxes?
Who will pay the investor back? How they will earn?
Yes, how do you earn?
We earn by directly selling these kits to schools, and then the revenue that we get from it.
No, I'm sorry. So the school pays, and how is the school? Does the school charge the children, or how does that work?
The school buy the kits from us.
Yeah, using whose money?
The 100,000 US dollars can be used for that too, but as of now, we haven't kind of like explored how it will fit into the.
Okay. Well, can I come out and answer the other way? Have you got big employers who are short of skills?
Employers.
Yeah, big companies who want more skills, more skilled.
Yeah, there's a lot of colleges and universities.
No, I mean employers, commercial operations.
Commercial operations. I haven't had any research on it.
So you haven't asked them if they will pay
for the kit?
To help get more employees?
Not yet. Okay. So I have only gone into the schools.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. Sounds like a good next action for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kenneth. I love the unbox your science. That could be a good slogan for the LIFT program in general, I think. Fantastic. Michelle, would you like to get yourself mic'd up? Okay, and please welcome to the stage, Leo Rosario. Hello, Leo. That's the one.
The Philippines is ranked third as the most disaster-prone country in the world. In 2013, Super Typhoon Haiyan has claimed 10,000 lives just like an instant. We could have saved more lives if we just knew how to respond after the disaster. For example, drones could have been used to provide aerial images to emergency response teams. They could have known the location of the victims who needed immediate rescue or response. But we were not able to do this. Although the drone technology is there, its adoption is not straightforward. The existing drones are too expensive for us, they can fly far, and they get easily broken. I am Leo, a co-founder of Lawin Industries. Our company has solutions in the form of product and services that bridge the gap between drone technology and its actual applications. We offer affordable, lightweight, durable, medium-range drones. Our product is made affordable to local governments, such as in cities. Our core material of lightweight and durable materials allow our drones to survive highly stressful operations and can still fly further. Our product is complemented by our service. We offer complete drone training from drone assembly, flight with simulation, to repair and maintenance. Our product can cover medium-range distances at a lower price as compared to our competitors. Also, our product has improved durability at a lower price as compared to our competitors. Our core technology of biocomposites are derived from our local natural fibers. For the past 2 years, we have been developing biocomposites intended for drone applications. We have developed thermoset airframes and thermoplastic impact structures that are stronger than the usual drone materials, such as foam, glass fiber composites, and plastics. We would be filing patents in the coming weeks for our biocomposite. Team Lawin is committed in developing leading drone technologies from advanced materials. Our strength lies in our ability to bring together many experts from different backgrounds and achieve a common goal. We perceive that our innovation would be used by a large portion of our archipelago because unfortunately, half of our country lives with disasters throughout the year. So from these disaster-prone areas, we need 20 pilot customers for the testing of our market and products. We would offer them 2 options. Option 1 for the leasing of drone, option 2 for the sale. Our market is just around 4 million pounds. But we would be looking at other opportunities to extend in other specialist drone applications. So we have our minimum viable product and service. We are looking for pilot customers for market validation. So if you are in the local government and you experience disasters, join us today and save lives tomorrow.
I was about to ask you who your first customers were going to be, so thanks for answering that one. Aside from the local government, which quite often has very low amounts of funding,
Yes.
Who else might be your revenue-generating customers?
Okay. If I may tell you the reason why we are targeting this local government, because our research came from the government, and our goal is to help in the post-disaster assessment. But even though there are a lot of companies, aerial surveying companies, who are asking us for this product, in agriculture, there are other opportunities such as in agriculture and environment. So, but we are focusing at the moment for this local government to address our requirements with the government funding.
So I think this question has been asked already when we were looking at the India pitches. In terms of regulation, what challenges do you see for drone applications?
Okay. At the moment, the drones that we have designed would pass the requirements of the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, but we are in coordination with them to certify our drone training. So that's the answer. Okay.
Can you tell me a bit more about the advantage of your drones over competitors?
Well, the first one is the price. Second one, it's really intended for post-disaster assessment where crashes may happen. So if we have a durable material and a crash would happen, it's a possibility that they can fix it. Because at the moment, if it crashes, they send it back to the manufacturer or wait for the technical support from the manufacturer, and it really takes time.
And in your case?
We would train them with repair and maintenance as well. Aside from that, their material is stronger, that can survive highly stressful operations in the field. Okay.
Can I take you back to the beginning of your process? Because I think colleagues have asked the questions about the drones, and certainly I suggest you talk to others who are here who also are in drones, because I think together you might have some interesting conversations.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in the process whereby you clearly haven't really developed the biocomposite aspect. You've developed some very interesting strength properties from biocomposites.
Correct.
How did you pick the drone as the way to market for what you learned?
As I've said, it was due to the government funding, but we are looking at the potential that it is only initial initiative. We can go on to other applications such as materials manufacturing.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, already cars have to be 95% recyclable.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering whether you've looked at your materials to solve any of those problems, say in the cockpit or whatever.
We're thinking that, because the regulations for the climate change, so having greener processes, I think it's a good avenue for us or opportunity to go into.
Okay. Would you, any investor you took into the drone, would you allow them to go with you into the new markets, other markets?
Yes, it's a possibility, but it depends on the possible agreement between them. We haven't really thought about that. We are just focusing on the market validation of our products, but we would consider that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Leo. Okay, Peter, can you get yourself mic'd up for your next presentation? Okay, and please join me in welcoming to the stage Michelle Carbonell.
Good afternoon. Imagine a farmer who has waited 18 months to harvest his pineapple would only earn 500 pounds per hectare per harvest. His plantation generates 70% waste, which contributes to climate change,
water and soil contamination, and air pollution. My name is Mislos Carbonell. I am the lead researcher and co-inventor of Queen Pineapple Technologies in Camarines Norte State College, Philippines. We have 3,500 queen pineapple farmers in regions 5 and 8, and their problem is the high volume of waste after harvesting. Our solution is the QP Tech. We have developed 3 technologies that they could adopt to reduce their agricultural waste by 80%. It could generate jobs and add income to the farmers. It could also reduce deforestation in the country. Today, I would focus on Queen's coal. This is an alternative source of fuel, and it has the most social impact as compared with the 3. Queen's coal is produced from waste leaves, peels, and debris. It is compact, convenient, low cost, with high heating value as compared with other commercially available products. It has an international net income of about 7 billion pounds for the farmers with coal sale. 2 billion pounds is the net income that is expected to be generated from other Asian countries. And we will start in the Philippine market for about a projected net income of 981 million pounds. Our business model is we would collect 5% license fee from distributors who sell this to cooperatives. We have started our R&D in 2015, and it was completed in 2018. We have 6 patent applications. We have pilot tested the product in 2018, and today we want to create our first partnership for sales in 2019. Our team is composed of myself as the CEO and co-inventor. We have an advisor, which is a former research director of agriculture. We also have 3 additional co-inventors and an expert in agribusiness. We need international distribution partners, particularly in Asia, in Thailand, particularly India and Indonesia. Thank you for listening and giving us this opportunity to improve the lives of our farmers. We have a committed team, we have proven technology, and we make every resource count. Thank you.
Specific question around the other uses for the pineapple waste. How does the Queen coal compare in terms of, I suppose, financial and, I suppose, waste benefit compared to those other uses? How's it going to compete?
Okay, so actually they complement each other, the 3 technologies, because essentially, if you look again, can we post the parts of the pine? Yes, that. The Queen's coal raw materials is just the waste leaves, peels, and debris. The juice of the pineapple is used for the instant QP marinade mix, which is another technology of ours. And the pomace from factory of juices is used for the feed supplement, which is the other product that we have. So they really complement each other. So that 80% really of the agricultural waste will be used into a value-added product.
Thanks. This is very interesting, and I know that pellets and bioenergy products are very competitive and emerging area. Especially there are quite a few players as well in Southeast Asia, who are already doing that with palm oil products and some other areas. So just in terms of competition, how are you prepared to deal with that? And going forward, what would be your strategy in terms of overcoming the competition that is coming not only domestically but also from Indonesia, from other countries as well, internationalizing these products?
That's why we are really thankful for the LIFT program, because this has opened us a lot of opportunities for networking, for us to have international networks or distributors. And aside from that, our product is really competitive because it does not compete with food security. We are using binder that is not used as food source. And the formulation of our product is really efficient.
Can you tell me a bit more detail about your business model?
Okay, for the business model, so we would have 5% license fee from distributors who will sell to cooperatives. These distributors would prepare the package using our process, and then they would sell it to the cooperatives, helping them to really make use of all of their resources.
And who are the likely distributors?
The likely distributors are the farm supply companies.
And have you had engagement with those?
We have engaged with one in Philippines, but it is localized, and so we want to really expand by having a network of international distributors.
I think from memory, about a kilogram of coal costs about £1 here in the UK. Can you make a kilogram of your material for less than that?
Yes, we can.
What is the sort of cost?
Because essentially, as of now, we have calculated the economic analysis of our product, and for 4 metric tons of coal, we will generate 2,100 pounds. And we can complete the cycle in 1 week, so there's a lot of potential for this.
So is this the most efficient process of bio to coal?
As pertaining to the production procedure, we can still enhance and make it more efficient as to get more recovery rates for the machineries. So that depends on the partners, the distributors that we would be having after this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're in the last few presentations now. Roland, can you get yourself mic'd up for the next pitch? Before that, I'd like to welcome a gentleman with a fantastic name. Please welcome Peter Tenido.
Thank you. Stroke is one of the world's top killers. For those who survive it, it is a painful, life-changing experience. Globally, it is estimated that by 2030, there will be 70 million stroke survivors a year. In the Philippines, that number is 375,000 stroke survivors a year, amounting to healthcare costs of up to $1.2 billion US. A problem with rehabilitating stroke patients is the lack of clinics' capacity to treat all patients. This leads to long queue lines at the clinic, with less than a fourth of these patients being seen, leading to poor patient compliance with treatment regimens. My name is Peter, and I am working with the Agapay Exoskeleton Project, and we are developing a medical device that will assist a rehabilitation therapist in providing therapy to a stroke patient. The Agapay Exoskeleton provides full upper arm mobility from the shoulder to the elbow, to the wrist, and to all fingers of the hands. It also includes a health data management system that will allow a user to keep track of a patient's treatment progress. It is essentially a physical therapist's assistant, which would increase patient-to-doctor ratios and improve patient compliance with treatment regimens. Our plan is to target the 15 hospitals in the Philippine capital that have rehabilitation units, and ultimately to the 290 hospitals in the entire country that have such rehabilitation units. We completed prototype development in 2017 and are set to complete preclinical activities in April of this year. We will begin clinical trials in June of this year. We have guaranteed government funding until the end of clinical trials in May 2020 and have possible startup gap funding in July 2020 when we commercialize the innovation. Robotic rehabilitation is a relatively young industry, but we are aware that there are competitors who have commercial models already on the market. Despite their presence, we have seen that the Philippine market remains unserved, and we hope to take advantage of that opportunity. I'm fortunate to work with a team of biomedical engineers led by Dr. Nilo, who is himself a Leader in Innovation Fellow, also with medical doctors from the University of the Philippines General Hospital. What our team lacks, however, is expertise in the commercialization of healthcare innovations. We are in particular looking for an advisor who can help us navigate the complex healthcare and regulatory environments. Thank you, and I hope that you will join me in bringing Agapay and its benefits to the people who really need them the most.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm interested in the reasons why the Philippines market has remained unserved and why it is you think that your technology will hit that market.
A lot of the development in robotic rehabilitation is happening in developed economies. And so cost is one of the key factors for why it is unserved. Our innovation has been designed to be much more cost-effective, much cheaper than what is already available in the market. And there are not many of them.
So mainly cost?
Yes, at the moment, that is the advantage that we would be able to offer.
Hi. So when you're looking at the scaling up within the markets, I wonder if you could expand on the projected lifetime value of a customer. Is it, the hospitals buy the product and that's it, or you've got the plans for upselling initiatives as well, and what are the plans for that?
We certainly would be able to provide follow-on services, and I think that is one advantage that we probably have over our competitors in international markets. Our geographical proximity to the markets gives us the ability to more quickly provide that follow-on support. Since we are in the early stages of thinking about commercialization, I also think there's opportunity to think about unique business models. For example, the establishment of clinics that have the device.
So your first immediate customers would be the rehabilitation centres?
Yes.
Yeah. So what have they got to say at the moment about what you're developing? What's their feedback?
So we have spoken with a few rehabilitation clinics in among the 15 that I mentioned earlier. There is certainly, they certainly find attractive the value of the ability rather, to take in more patients than they normally would. It would be more impactful. They can help more people. It'll also increase revenues for the clinics. Of course, they are rightfully waiting for clinical evidence to actually jump at the, because they also want to know that it actually helps people, that it actually rehabilitates people.
Subject to the clinical evidence being positive, are they potential investors for you? The rehabilitation clinics themselves?
I think I'd see them more as customers. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a similar point. I mean, you've clearly worked on low cost because you think that because the Philippines has been underserved by a high cost Western. But I would imagine that not everybody who needs a robotic assistant here, or robotic assistance to get better from a stroke, not everybody here in the UK gets it, who should get it.
Okay.
So your low cost could play back in here. So, I mean, it's back to developing a business model where what you're providing is this new innovation plus the opportunity for the tests. Have you tried to sell that to other players in the world?
Sell the.
You have invented this new system and you have access to hospitals that will give the evidence, the clinical evidence that it works. That's a valuable proposition when put together.
Okay.
It's the robot and the data.
All right. We have brought that up, the possibility of including data in our value proposition to Philippine clinics. Beyond the Philippines, we have not been able to do that, unfortunately. But thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter. Okay, the final three presentations for today. So can Romualdo get himself mic'd up? And we can welcome to the stand, or please join me in welcoming final three, Roland Daguil. Okay.
Okay, good afternoon. So the Philippines has a very big problem today because of this real property collections. So apart from a very long queue of tax while we have tax payment, so there is also what they call land titles, houses, buildings are being assessed using the very old reference for valuation. In that case, our government lost the opportunity of $570 million annually because of these outdated valuations of real property, and apart also from the poor collections. So basically, we are in the university starting to have a service, what we call MapX. So this is a software as a service where we will provide tax mapping and then property valuations, validations, and assessment. So basically, with our service, basically the local government will help local government improve their collections through its valuations, and also we do tax mapping in a way that there's no additional manpower requirements and also equipment. So basically, at this point of time, our minimum viable product is our alpha version. So we have partners already with 2 local governments. In fact, one of the local governments before we are commissioned to tax mapping amounting to $500 million. So in a way, our potential market is over 1,630 cities and municipalities, around 25 million property owners, apart from the buildings and some other properties, which is different rights from the government. So basically what we are having now is we need 6 months to finish our products. So we'll provide a development team, and also for the next 6 months, we will be having our market validations. And after that, so we will do the commercializations. If one of our team is willing to get hungry for a while and have a party for a lifetime, so we will go for spin-off. And if not, so we will go for licensing. So basically what we're trying to ask, if you are a local government and we need to recover your loss, so to get it done, we need $154,000 for the development and market valuations. Apart from that, we will also need incubation support for mentoring and positioning our product in the market. So if you are a local government, you should value your asset with us to improve your tax collection performance in a way that if we can recover the loss of $570 million, we can translate it into social services, infrastructures projects that improve the quality of life of the Filipino people. And I'm Roland Dagel, the lead of the projects, and we are MapX. Thank you and good afternoon.
Hi, thank you, Roland. I'm interested because this is a problem all over the place. So what would you say the barriers to uptake are, especially in the Philippines?
In the Philippines, there is no sufficient manpower in local government to do technical jobs in remote sensing, GIS things. So there's only a few, and you can count on your hands some of the experts in this field. So basically, the tax mapping is one of the really tedious work. In fact, one of the clients we commissioned the university to pay around $500,000 just to tax map the 110 RPOs in that particular city. So mapping is really tedious, and there is no sufficient manpower. In fact, the local government have, even in only I guess the average is only 60% of them having this property evaluated correctly.
So I'm interested to hear a bit more about the business model behind how what are the numbers? You mentioned that this will be SaaS, software as a service solution. So how that business model will work and how competitive it will be?
Okay, so basically, the first thing that we have in our mind is an upfront fee for having the service. And then we will charge them as a service charge in a form of per RPOs units in a way. And then also, if they can hit the target in terms of performance and collections, if they get the 100%, yay! And they're gonna ask them for a performance fee in a way. And then, so that's how we will going to have it. And in fact, when we computed the 110,000 RPUs for a worth of 500,000 US dollars, so the client is willing about to pay around $4 per property. So in that way. And then, most likely, if we can have this kinds of service, then we can lower it down, and that will be marketable to some other LGUs with low income.
Hi. So your ask is 154K
Yes.
for research and development.
For accelerations of the development, to have it in 6 months.
Acceleration around 6 months. Oh, at the moment, how are you thinking that you're going to get that?
Actually, we have a grant in the Philippines, so we call it somewhat like a grant roughly around $250,000. So that will be our potential way on having it as a source of funds for the development and for the validations.
Have you made an application for that?
Yeah, we are working on it. So definitely it will be a very good position for us while we are in the program.
Good. Thank you.
Hi. What I'm used to is when the government comes around to revalue houses, every house owner tries to make their house seem as bad as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you may be working on the right side of the market for money for your project.
Yeah.
But the people who value this are the the mortgage companies and those paying mortgages. Have you intention to sell it to them?
Yeah, what we're trying to have in the market, what we have in our mind is we're gonna go on somewhat like diffuse them in a way and very easy for them to pay taxes using our platform in a small way, and then definitely it will be some marketplace in a way that we can use them as for valuation purposes, so that there are some other Filipinos in the country that their land is being bought in a low value because they don't have really the idea on how much it really costs in the market.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. Okay, can I ask our final presenter, Christopher, to get mic'd up? And invite our penultimate presenter, Romaldo Martinez, to come and speak to us. Just give him just a second to get the slides up. Just a moment.
In the Philippines...
Just a second.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Okay.
In the Philippines, the high level of post-harvest losses is a major concern of government, which directly affects our farmers. In rice, for example, the drying loss of 5.9% translates to $250 million US. Drying is a problem because farmers rely on direct sun drying, and it rains 40 to 50% of the time in the Philippines, just like in London. I'm Romualdo Martinez. I'm from a government research agency, Filmann, and we have developed a solar dryer on which we added a biomass furnace so that drying can be effected, rain or shine, continuously and uninterruptedly. Okay. Drying is faster by 50% on a good weather and more so during rainy periods. It protects the product from external contamination and from sudden rains. We have installed these dryers to 3 coffee farmers organizations, and we did get good results. The dryer costs $10,000 US. Understandably, it's not cheap and not affordable for individual farmers upfront. So the ask is a grant fund to pilot the dryer to 12 sites so that we could demonstrate the benefits of the technology, increase the awareness of the technology, and establish sustainability. The plan is to have these dryers installed to local governments who will all own the dryers. They will be leased out to farmers' cooperatives who will do centralized drying and marketing for the farmers, and part of the income which will be generated will pay out for the lease, for the operation, and for the maintenance of the dryers. So farmers can get potential income from the premium quality that they will produce out of using the dryer, which could go as on, say, 50%, which will contribute towards the sustainability of the system. So that would be phase one, which will be sort of the pre-rollout of the technology, which will be the basis for phase two, wherein we will develop the business plan and the licensing of the technology. Okay, so we have a team which is composed of dynamic researchers, and we really hope that we can establish these centers for the benefit of our farmers. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Just a quick question, because you gave some of the financial benefits. Could you maybe model that out for a typical sized coffee farm? So a typical sized farm, what financial benefits would they have?
So this is intended as a community center so that it could drive more volume. So we intend this not to be a single commodity system. So the cooperative will make sure that the dryer will operate year-round to get more benefit.
Thank you. So just trying to understand as well, in terms of right now, how are farmers drying in their communities? Is it what model they're using? What would be the benefit for them to join the cooperative in comparison to the methods that they're using right now?
Okay. So now it's mainly direct sun drying. And direct sun drying, we have problems because it rains very often in the Philippines. So you get poor quality and you have reduced market price for your product. So joining the cooperative would enable farmers to get more premium with the system we have.
Just maybe one follow-up question as well. Well, given that it rains a lot as well, how does that work with the solar as well?
Yeah, the dryer has a biomass furnace, which will supplement the drying when it rains.
Thanks. That was a really clear presentation. I enjoyed it. So what your ask is for a grant that initially would enable you to have a pilot project over 12 sites.
Yes.
So what sort of outcomes, results would you want to see from the pilot projects? Would you need to see in order for it to go to stage 2?
The outcome I am looking for is to show that if the local government would invest on the system, it will be eventually self-sustaining. Yes.
In other words, it would be a better product.
Yes, yes.
And the farmers would engage.
Yes, yes, yes. That's what I meant.
Yeah, my sense is that you focused on the value of drying as opposed to the technology of drying. I mean, how cheap can the glass house or a plastic version or whatever be?
Yeah.
Is that right? Have you done those optimizing calculations in terms of those relatively small margins in doing
Yeah, right. Yes, initially we have opted for polyethylene as sheets, but in terms of long-term maintenance, it's not so.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Have you done all those?
Yes. Okay.
All those calculations?
Yes.
And the business model?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and now our final presenter for the day. Congratulations. I think Christopher needs a big round of applause. He's been waiting at the end. The nerves increasing as everyone's gone before him. So a massive big welcome to Christopher Cruz, our final presenter for today.
Imagine if the big technologies in history, like the camera, the smartphone, or even the telephone that we're using, remained in research laboratories and not transferred to society. We know the benefits of commercializing technology, but the problem still persists. We all know the metaphor of the valley of death, that there is a great divide between research and commercialization, and that government-funded research are languishing in the archives because they are not commercialized in the market. In the Philippines, there are around 1,900 higher educational institutions, and there are only 80 tech transfer offices. And of these 80, less than 30 are fully functioning ones. In other words, there is a dire need to help academic institutions, research institutions, put their technologies into the market. And with the law in the Philippines, which requires all government-funded projects to be commercialized, the problem becomes more serious. I am Christopher E. Cruz, the Tech Transfer Officer of De La Salle University, and I'm here to present to you our proposal, The Impact, which means De La Salle University Intellectual Property Management Program for Academic Institutions Commercializing Technology. This is an IP management and IP consultancy program, which is greatly inspired by Oxentia. And we have a pool of experts to back us up. Why do we choose us? It is because of our reputation. It is because of our intense research, not to mention our patents. And just recently, we were included as one of the two Philippine universities in the THE, which is considered to be one of the gold standard in accreditation. So what do we want? We do not want money. We want you to be a partner because we are still developing this project. We want you to be part of our free trial for consultancy program for 1 month, and this is equivalent to around $3,000 in fees. If you join us, there are only 3 positions available, then we will talk to you, know your needs, and have a proposal for your organization. And I'd like to end with this phrase from an African proverb: we need to partner each other so that we can conquer the valley of death. Thank you.
So what are you going to do that's going to overcome the particular barriers in the Philippines?
In the Philippines, there are tech transfer offices, but there are very few that are fully functioning. Modesty aside, we are one of those in the advanced stage. We have 3 functional offices, not just 1, but 3. We have full staff, and we have support coming from top management. I think all of these ingredients rolled into one would make us a big potential in the Philippines. Not to rival Oxentia, of course, but to be something that can be helpful in the Philippines.
Thanks. Brilliant, I think. Join. I think it would be interesting to hear from you about some example how you successfully bridged that gap between the research and commercialization in practice for some past example.
We have 3 offices in our university. We have the IP office, we have the innovation office, and then we have the business incubator. So right now, we have applied for more than 20 patents already, and it's now in the pipeline. And we have early stage startups already in our pre-incubation in our office, ready to be vetted to the business incubator, which is also part of the ecosystem. In other words, we are now ready, really, to give this service to the Filipino people. However, we still need to have a beta version. That's why the proposal is to have a trial for 1 month, startup, so that we will know the needs of the industry, needs of academe, so that when we know them, we will be able to iron out all the kinks in the process. Thank you.
I suppose there's a lot of questions that I'd like to ask you. But how's this service that you're going to offer going to be sustainable?
Okay. So it will be, in the beginning, a free trial for 1 month for 3 selected academic institutions. And then later on, they have the option to choose from our menu of services, like, for example, patent search, patent prosecution, or even networking with industry, because De La Salle is a business school, known to be an engineering school as well. And most of our graduates are now the big tycoons in the Philippines. So we have the wide network to help our startups in the incubation to link them up with industry. So I think these intangibles are important to help contribute to that ecosystem of innovation.
Do you think 1 month is enough in order to be able to demonstrate that you can add value?
1 month is just the trial period. In other words, that is just allowing the academic institution to see what we can offer, and then we will offer them a program that we think can be of help to them as an academic institution. 1 month definitely is not enough, but that is one way of putting in the clients or the customers, and they will be our prospective customers later on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess in the last minute, I'm just going to say good luck. Because before I started the Science Park in Belfast, I was director of an establishment which had 12 world firsts and not a single industry around it, even though it was an applied laboratory. It did what it was supposed to do, but no industry. So the process is what I've been engaged on for 20 years. So when you find out, I'll come and copy you.
I'll give you a call. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.